Why was Bill and Melinda Gates' oldest daughter accused of being spoiled? Which of their only son's qualities make his parents the proudest? And why is the Microsoft founder dead set against his kids inheriting his wealth?
It's chaos!
When Bill and Melinda Gates announced their decision to divorce after nearly 3 decades of marriage, we were shocked. But now that the news has sunk in, we're wondering what it means for their 3 kids. Especially since Bill said his children won't inherit his entire $130 billion fortune. So, what will they get? Hi, I'm Joy and you're watching OSSA, and we've got some questions about the Gates children. Who are Bill and Melinda's kids? We all know that Bill and Melinda Gates have 3 children, but Jennifer, Phoebe and Rory managed to grow up away from the spotlight that followed their parents. However, after their parents announced their plans to divorce, that changed. Bill and Melinda's oldest daughter, Jennifer, just turned 25. Like her siblings, she went to the same high school that her dad attended, Lakeside High in Seattle. But that's where the similarities between Jennifer and her father end. While her dad's focus was on tech and computers, she had an affinity for horses. In fact, Jennifer has been riding since she was just 6 years old, competing against other celeb riders like Bruce Springsteen's daughter Jessica and Steven Spielberg's daughter Destry. To support her passion, Bill purchased properties near Jennifer's stables in Florida, and this has led to rumors that the Gates' eldest daughter is possibly the couple's favorite and definitely the most spoiled. Because it wasn't the last such purchase. When Jennifer was studying at Stanford University, she decided she wanted to go to medical school. So in 2017, a full year before she started her journey in medicine, her father bought her a swanky $5 million condo within walking distance of the campus. We have no doubt that her fellow students were green with envy, but Jennifer has been open about being privileged. She's putting these resources to good use, explaining it's about using those opportunities to find things that hopefully make the world a little bit of a better place. The Gates' eldest daughter actually discovered more than just a dream career and apartment while at Stanford. It's also where she found love, with fellow equestrian Neil Nassar. After a few years of dating, they got engaged in January 2020. And while her life is an open book, complete with a great romance, her siblings are a little harder to figure out. The Gates' son Rory is 22 and a master at avoiding the limelight. In fact, if not for Jennifer's occasional posts about him and an article that his mum wrote in the Time magazine to honor his 18th birthday, we know nothing about him. After Rory graduated from high school in 2018, he enrolled at the University of Chicago. Although Melinda didn't reveal what he's studying, we wouldn't be surprised to learn he'd followed his parents' footsteps. She explained, he's intelligent and well-read and deeply informed about the wide range of issues that interest him. He's a great son and a great brother. He's inherited his parents' obsessive love of puzzles. Even though she has a lot to admire about her son, there's one thing about Rory that really makes his mother proudest. He's a feminist. Melinda explained, across 18 years of conversations, sharp observations, and everyday actions, he's demonstrated his belief that gender equality is something worth standing up for. If you thought we knew very little about Rory, that's nothing compared to the youngest Gates child, Phoebe. She's just 18, but she knows exactly what she wants to do with her life: dance. After high school, Phoebe studied at the School of American Ballet and Juilliard. And while her social media accounts are mainly set to private, there's one exception: her TikTok. Don't get too excited, she doesn't share much beyond some dancing, but then again, that's also an amazing treat, especially when she gets her dad to dance with her. Now that's talent. Did they have a normal childhood? They may have been raised by billionaires in a home valued at $124 million, but the Gates kids weren't spoiled. Okay, they weren't totally spoiled. All 3 were raised Catholic and were banned from owning a cell phone until they were 14, which may seem surprising when you consider that their dad is a tech mogul. But there's a good reason for it. Bill and Melinda decided to raise their kids according to a formula developed in the 1970s, called Love and Logic. Basically, the main idea is that parenting shouldn't include emotional reactions like shouting or reprimanding kids. Instead, traditional rewards like cell phones and gifts are replaced with love and admiration to allow kids to become emotionally independent and hard-working. But this wasn't without its challenges. As Bill once admitted in an interview, Melinda was actually responsible for 80% of the parenting in the home, although she always tried to involve him. In 2017, he explained, "Melinda is very creative about helping me find chances to spend time with the kids." And one of the ways she thought of was to get the family to do household chores together to ensure that they appreciate responsibility even though their parents have a team of cleaners. So it's not surprising that in a world in which Bill and Melinda Gates tried to keep their kids humble, the news of their divorce and how to divide their billions of dollars of assets posed a major problem. What their parents' divorce means for their futures. Because Jennifer is the only one of the Gates kids with public social media accounts, we only know how she feels about her parents' impending divorce. She called it a challenging time for the whole family. Even though Rory and Phoebe haven't addressed the news, the world is curious about how the divorce will affect them. But most importantly, we want to know how much money they stand to inherit. And we actually already have that answer. In a 2014 TED Talk, Gates announced that his kids will only inherit a tiny amount of his vast fortune, and the rest will be donated to charity. He emphasized this again in 2017 on Reddit, revealing that he and his wife agreed that their kids won't be inheriting more than $10 million each. He explained, "I definitely think leaving kids massive amounts of money is not a favor to them. Sure, for many of us, $10 million is a massive fortune. But when you consider that this is less than 1% of Gates' $130 billion Microsoft fortune, it really isn't much." There's a really good reason behind this decision. Bill and Melinda have tried to raise self-sufficient kids, and they won't worry that a humongous inheritance would make their kids lazy.
Well, our kids will receive, great education and some money, so they'll never be poorly off, but they'll go out and, have their own career.
Gates elaborated, "We want to strike a balance where they have the freedom to do anything, but not a lot of money is showered on them so they could go out and do nothing. They need to have a sense that their own work is meaningful and important." And we've got to admit, that's brilliant. After all, with some clever investing and in the right hands, $10 million can do a lot and change a life. For more info on other celeb kids, check out our other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay awesome.